You're sitting with your laptop open, battery at 15%. That little warning pops up and you rush to plug it in. Relief. You keep using it, maybe even forget about it for hours or days. Then someone tells you something that sounds completely backwards. Leaving your laptop plugged in all the time actually keeps it healthier. Wait, what? Isn't that exactly what you're not supposed to do? Before we get into it, make sure to subscribe and drop a like. It helps a lot and keeps videos like this coming. Now, here's the surprising truth. Most people think batteries get damaged by being plugged in too much, that if you leave your laptop connected to power, you're somehow overcharging it and slowly killing the battery. But that idea comes from older technology, and today it's mostly outdated. Modern laptops are much smarter than people realize. They're not just blindly charging the battery non-stop. Inside your device, there's a system constantly managing how energy flows, deciding when to charge, when to stop, and even when to bypass the battery entirely. And this is where things start to flip. Because when your laptop is plugged in, especially on newer models, it often isn't using the battery at all. It's running directly from the power source, which means something important happens. The battery gets a break. Here's what surprises most people. Batteries don't like being used all the time. Every time your battery discharges and recharges, it goes through something called a cycle, and each cycle slowly wears it down. Not instantly, not dramatically, but over time, those cycles add up. So when your laptop is constantly unplugged, draining, charging, draining again, you're actually increasing the number of cycles, and that means faster wear. Now compare that to a laptop that stays plugged in most of the time. Fewer cycles, less stress, longer lifespan. But this is where most people get confused, because they've heard about something called battery stress at 100%. And yes, that part is real. Lithium-ion batteries don't love staying at 100% all the time. It creates a kind of chemical tension inside the battery that can slowly reduce its long-term capacity. So now it sounds like a contradiction. Using the battery wears it out, but keeping it full also wears it out. So what's actually better? And more importantly, why do plugged-in laptops often end up lasting longer anyway? The answer isn't about choosing one extreme or the other. It's about how modern systems balance both. And in the next part, things get even interesting, because your laptop might already be protecting your battery in ways you don't even notice, sometimes even limiting itself on purpose. And once you see how that works, you'll never look at that charging cable the same way again. Because sometimes the simplest things hide the most misunderstood truths. Your laptop is sitting on your desk, plugged in all day. You use it for hours, browsing, studying, watching videos, and nothing seems unusual. But behind the scenes, something strange is happening. Your laptop is making decisions about your battery. Not just charging it, but sometimes avoiding charging it on purpose. And the question is, why would a device designed to charge choose not to? Before we go deeper, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. It helps more than you think, and it keeps videos like this coming. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Most people think charging is a simple process. You plug in, the battery fills up to 100%, and that's it. But modern laptops don't work like that anymore. They're constantly analyzing how you use your device, what time you plug it in, how long it stays connected, whether you usually keep it on your desk or carry it around. And based on that, they adapt. This is where most people get confused, because sometimes your laptop will stop charging at 80% even when it's plugged in. It looks like something is wrong, but it's actually doing the opposite. It's protecting itself. Here's what surprises most people. Keeping a battery at 100% for long periods creates internal stress. Not visible, not immediate, but chemical. Inside every lithium-ion battery, there's a delicate balance, and when it stays fully charged for too long, that balance slowly starts to degrade. So instead of pushing to 100% all the time, many laptops now intentionally pause charging around 70 to 80%. They wait, they learn your routine, and only complete the charge right before they expect you to unplug. No warning, no message, just silent optimization. And this changes everything, because now being plugged in doesn't mean charging nonstop. It means the system is managing energy intelligently, sometimes using power directly from the cable, sometimes lightly maintaining the battery, sometimes even letting it drop slightly before charging again, all to reduce long-term wear. And here's the part most people never realize. Heat matters just as much as charging. When your laptop is plugged in and doing heavy tasks, gaming, editing, or running many apps, it generates heat. And heat is one of the biggest enemies of battery health. So modern systems try to reduce that impact too. They control charging speed, they limit power flow, they spread out energy usage to avoid overheating the battery. So again, it's not just about being plugged in, it's about how the system behaves while plugged in. Now, this leads to a surprising conclusion. The real reason laptops plugged into power tend to stay healthier isn't just because they use fewer battery cycles. It's because they're operating under controlled conditions, stable energy, managed charging, reduced stress, less randomness. Compare that to unplugged use, battery draining unpredictably, frequent charging cycles, more heat fluctuations, more stress over time. And suddenly, the idea flips. Being plugged in isn't harmful. Uncontrolled usage is. But here's the final twist. Even with all this smart technology, your habits still matter. If you keep your laptop plugged in 24/7 on a hot surface, running heavy tasks constantly, you can still wear down the battery faster. And if you always drain it to 0% before charging, that also adds stress. So the real answer isn't extreme, it's balance. Let the system do its job. Keep it plugged in when convenient. Avoid excessive heat, and don't obsess over hitting exactly 100% or 0%. Because in the end, your laptop isn't just a machine anymore. It's a system that's constantly trying to protect itself, quietly, intelligently, and without you even noticing. And once you understand that, the whole idea of charging habits starts to look very different. So if you found this useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really makes a difference, because sometimes the simplest things hide the most misunderstood truths.